Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I hadn't intended on doing another jumping exercise video so soon. However, this cropped up in a jump lesson I was teaching today and I thought it was too good not to share. It is pretty much curved poles on a 20-meter circle. However, you can adjust this to suit your arena or the space that you use. So you can use as many poles as you want on the curve. I just used as many as I've got at home. And you can either do poles on the ground, raised poles, or as we've done, add a fence into it. It's just a really good gymnastic exercise for horses of all abilities. We also add a singular pole on each side of the inside of the jump, but I'll explain later why we like to do that. I walk about 3 paces in between each pole. However, you just need to know your horse's canter stride length and kind of what suits them. So, walk it to suit your horse. So lovely Billy here is quite a feisty chap and he can get quite excited when it comes to jumping. And the reason this exercise is so good for him, I'm just showing you kind of how I've set it out at the moment. The reason this exercise is so good for him is it, one, helps to stop him rushing, because quite often just before the fence he can get a little bit keen. It works on their balance, it works on them maintaining a good rhythm through the jumps. The poles kind of back them off, so helps them sit on the hindquarters. So if you've got a horse that tends to get on its forehand, quite good to use this exercise. And as I said, in general, for any horse, it's just a great gymnastic exercise. So with Billy, we're looking for him to try and stay soft over his back, because he can sort of suck back and draw back with his neck and head a little bit. So that's why Lolly keeps a light seat on him. So we're trying to get him to soften over his back, lower and drop his head a little bit. And you can see here, we're trying for her not to interfere too much, to let him think for himself about where he's putting his feet. And why we like the poles on the inside is that rather than sticking to the outside with the main curve poles in the jump, we like to occasionally bring him in and do the singular poles just to resettle him, because otherwise horses tend to rush a lot if they just keep on the main circle. So you can just mix it up to keep your horse on their toes. So you can see here, just trying to find that lovely balanced rhythm, trying to leave them to it when you get to the jumps. They just jump at that decent rhythm. Now, this was literally the last minute of the lesson, and I only suddenly came to me that I should have videoed it. So this is why she only jumps twice on this rein, because she had actually already done this rein. I had to ask her to go again. Again, just settling him down, getting him to listen. But we were so pleased with the way this exercise helped him to engage his hindquarters a little bit more, and he became so much more responsive, and he was listening to Lolly brilliantly. So the little half halts that she was using through her seat and her hand, he was really respecting. So we were over the moon with him, and it's just such a good exercise. I can't sort of go on about it enough. And you can see there, he jumped out the most beautiful, relaxed, calm rhythm. And he's starting to drop his neck and head a little bit and stay softer over his back. We had a very nice canter afterwards, and then we just popped him back into trot. And again, his trot was beautiful. He was moving really freely. He was a very happy bunny. So give it a whirl. Like I say, you can adjust it to suit your horse's ability, but it's just a good all-round exercise for all types of horses. Welcome to a very misty start. It was a lot colder last night than I realised. I still haven't put any rugs on mine out in the field. Obviously Corporal and Artie have their Swedish rugs on, but so this morning we're having a little test. We've brought Corporal in and we've left Sienna out, probably to scream with Artie down there. Is she gonna have a whinny? They've made friends in the last week. They've become much closer, Artie and Sienna, which is nice, I suppose. I've obviously I think last week or something, I might have mentioned it, tried taking Corporal, like one at a time, Corporal away from Sienna, and then also tried it with Artie, and she wasn't a fan. And actually the first time I tried to take Corporal away, she tried to climb over the door, and that's how she cut her leg and everything. So we've done a little bit of work of taking Artie out, and I think I did get as far as the arena with him the other day, but she still wasn't that happy. So what I've been doing is I've noticed that if I take Artie in from the field and leave her out, she doesn't give a hoot about him at all. So I thought I would try this morning at first, and I'll take Coop in and leave her out with Artie. And I think if she's got the space of the field, she's not that worried. If she looks pretty chilled, I will take him in the arena in a bit. I was just going to give him a quick brush to his feet, that kind of thing. Artie's over the moon because look, now he's got all to himself. Anyway, it's good. Artie currently has a use. So yes, this is what I'm just doing this morning. Just going to have a little play with Coop. Oh, look at them. They seem quite happy out there. Anyway, I'm going to stop rabbiting. I've really struggled with this week's vlog, I must say. I did a whole bit on Sienna, but it was just not good. Oh, I can hear her. such a moo. Yeah, the videoing wasn't great. It was on the fence. I did a big old session with Sienna. She's learned quite a lot in the last week, but I just didn't think it was that good. So I'm not quite sure where today's video is going to go. I deleted it all. I was right, we're going to start afresh. So we'll see what happens. Corporal is loose in the school, and this is the first time that he has actually been properly separated from Sienna. And she will eat, but she is eating, which is good. So I'm going to just let him have a trot around so she can hear him. Because obviously if he was having a lesson or something, she would be able to hear him breathing and everything else. But yeah, this is looking promising. I'm not going to do it for too long. Don't want to stress her or anything, but fingers crossed. This is, we're moving in the right direction to be able to take the boys one at a time away from her without her, freaking out, because it's important that she can cope on her own. Oh, Coop's just had her all. This is good. Artie's doing a good nannying job. He's having a bit of fun. Look at him, handsome devil. He's been rather neglected recently, I feel. You're not going to be able to see very well because the sun's coming through. Look at that, showing off. He's not looking too bad soundness-wise. He had his shoes taken off and his feet are horrific now. He's just going to have to go through that stage. Oh, not helpful. Not helpful of Coop. I'm just keeping on those two. Of all things, it would be the 20-year-old, wouldn't it? It's all right. Oh well, nothing like testing them properly. It's okay, we're surviving. We're surviving. Helps if Coop didn't make so much damn noise. Anyway, she's got to learn. In the yard, especially before I give her a groom, I like to it's not a massage. I don't have a clue about massaging horses, but really running my hands all over her body, feeling through her muscles, that kind of thing. One, because it just gets her used to me, touching every part of her body, but also because it's nice for her, it's nice for her to feel this bit of, it's a good bit of bonding time. Nice for her to, feel my hands everywhere. Quite often towards the end I'll do like putting a little bit of weight over her, that kind of thing. Just getting used to touching every part of her, seeing if there's any sensitive spots anywhere that she's not that comfortable about. It's a good way of learning about her body and how her body feels. And same with the legs. You can see she's very happy. She's, slightly closing her eyes, but just really feeling every part of her. All good practice for the future when we lean over and things like that. If this is a really enjoyable experience for her, then hopefully, if I add in a bit of laying over her a little bit and all that, then, it all makes it into a nice thing for her. I think she's just untied herself. So this is day 2 of her wearing the saddle pad on. I didn't record putting it back on because, to be honest, I was quite nervous. After her being a little bit on edge yesterday and having a bit of a buck and a few stressful moments, she was obviously tense putting it back on, and I went through the same sort of things. Put the saddle pad on, walked her around with that on, then did it with the roller, did it really gradually, got it on. She was tense while I was doing it up, and I was just curious she wasn't going to suddenly kind of explode while I was trying to put it on, but she didn't. And then actually she walked off really quietly. You can see she's unsure, she's not sure about it being on her back, but that's okay. Got the girth done up today. Yesterday, once it was on, I didn't do the girth up again. Whereas today, halfway through leading her around, I stopped, did the girth up again. And now I'm just giving her a chance to walk around on her own, give her some time to feel it. This, I felt, helped the most yesterday. Like, she has to get used to the feeling of it. So you can see then, when she went down to pick up the leaf, she felt it and obviously tensed. And I just think it's good for her to have a little bit of time on her own. Obviously, I'm in here to watch her, so if she gets herself into trouble or does anything or panics herself, I can come and help her. She's obviously walked around loads with me beforehand with it on, so she had me then. But it's interesting watching her then, went to like bend her neck down and it gave her a different sensation, and you could just see her going, oh gosh, what's that feeling? So, her walking around, you can see still, every time she feels it, she's still very nervy, which is why I'm giving her this time.
Quite often if I start moving, she starts walking again, which is nice. So yeah, but I'm really pleased that we got it back on, and yeah, it's okay, we're getting there, slowly but surely, and it's only day 2 of putting the saddle pad on, and we knew she was going to be a little bit trickier than some. I've left all the side bits dangling just because she's got to get used to that feeling, so why not start now? So tonight is Sienna's first night in. She's done, I think I've already said this, but she did about 8 hours in the day the other day in. I just thought it was time to try her in at night. If the weather suddenly turned, then she'd be coming in. So I thought, well, the weather hasn't turned yet and she can be sort of out at night. I thought I might just do a trial, see how she gets on. So all the boys are in. You can't see Coop because he's eating in the corner. But yeah, so we'll see. Fingers crossed I have a quiet night. And she doesn't do anything daft like get cast or get cross in the night and decide to wake me up. But I'm sure with the boys in she will be fine. But I can guarantee she has never stabled for the night, ever. I know she was raised in a big barn, but I think loads of food will be the key because she's a foodie. So yeah, wish me luck. Short answer, will keep her protected. So, it's just all but 10 o'clock and I've just come out to give their last bit of haylage. She's quite unsettled, which is a shame because she's been doing so well in the daytime. I'm not going to turn her out though. I'm going to try and get her through the night. Even though she is 3 and obviously you want them out as much as possible, I still think it's important for them to get used to staying in at night, because like I say, you never know the weather, you never know if they injure themselves. It's just good to try and get them used to coming in and staying in at night. So obviously it's a big deal to her. She's not used to it, but she is definitely quite on edge, and just she's eaten, so she's not that on edge, but very much I can tell she's just a bit ants in her pants in the stable. I mean, the boys typically, you can see Cooper there, very settled. Coop's been asleep, probably loving being back in. And I think probably doesn't help that the boys don't necessarily put their heads out over the door as much as she does. So yeah, I'd like to clean her stable out a bit, but I think she's a little bit too on edge to do that, and don't want to get caught out with her. So we might just have a fun job mucking out in the morning. But yeah, it's a lot for her to deal with, you know, being in a tiny confined box is always going to be tricky initially. But fingers crossed that she has a good night. And like I say, I'm right there, so I'm hopeful that I'll hear anything. I suspect I won't sleep very well because I'll be like extra listening out and things like that. But yeah, she is at least eating, so that's good. Obviously just wondering why she's locked away in a box. Poor thing. Good morning. We survived. She's out. We survived the night. I slept dreadfully because I think I'm so on edge of like trying to hear things, if anything, for any reason she wasn't happy. But actually, I didn't really hear much through the night. I think once or twice I heard a bit of a, you know, bang around, but to be honest, it could have been Artie who was the closest to me. So yeah, I'm going to repeat this and do it again tonight. It was meant to rain last night, but it didn't. Annoyingly, could really do with the rain. I mean, look at my field. Yes, I'm going to do it again tonight because it's meant to rain again, and I think just good to sort of put her through it again, putting her in the stable and leaving her overnight, and then hopefully she'll be super settled again, and then, you know, then I can pick and choose if she's out at night or out in the field, depending on weather, etc. So yeah, I've got a really busy day, so I'm going to get a boogie on. Lessons to teach. I've got farrier. What else have I got? Oh, I've got a couple of places to go and ride at. So yeah, the good thing is with them having been in last night and coming back in again, there won't be so many poos to pick up, because honestly, I don't know how these guys do so many, but it takes flipping ages. So there's a positive for them being in at night, is I'd much rather muck out stables than muck out fields. So yeah, right, I'm getting on with it. So it's 4:15 and I've just got back from work. I really should do something with Sienna. I have to say I'm feeling a little bit flat this afternoon, just not the energy levels aren't quite there. I think it's because I'm not sleeping very well. Anyway, new lunch lines. Brought 2 this time after Madam broke the last one. So it's either put the roller back on, which is here, put this roller back on and saddle pad, which to be honest she really should do, or take her for a little walk, which again is good for her independence. But I should do something. She had yesterday off, so not that it's important that she does something every day, but or even every other day, but I'm just feeling like, you know, I should do something. But currently I'm a bit like also I hate this weather when it's like the real greenhouse kind of feel. It just doesn't suit me. It makes me like a sloth. So yeah, right. I also don't know quite what's going on in the distance, like whether this is rain or whether this is just that greenhouse feeling. Yeah, it's not meant to rain again. We've had a good amount of rain, got quite wet today, but I had my good coat on, so I was all dry, which makes me happy. I think the middies have been driving them around the bend, and I left them with fly mask off because I don't really like turning them out with mask on when it's wet. So anyway, I'm going to get on with it. I'm going to get them in. Just means they're going to be in from quite early, which I know the boys won't mind, but obviously I'm just wary with Sienna. I don't know whether to put her back out tonight or whether to leave her in again. I got no idea. I haven't got the brain power to think it either. Yeah, do I leave them in or do I chuck them back out? I also need to poop it because I also forgot to do that yesterday. Yay. So I managed to find some energy and took Sienna back into the school, put the saddle pad and roller back on. So this is the 3rd time of her wearing it. I also loose schooled her for the first time today, which I've never done before. Took her a bit to work out how to do it, but she got the gist of it. And yeah, it was just really nice to see her moving forward, trotting around with the pad on. The other day, she literally freaked out every couple of strides with it on, whereas today she was so much more confident. She was a bit dim about the poles, bless her, and I know she has a lot of confidence in me, so I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to show her. So it's all good fun, it's all playing and that kind of thing, and she seemed to really enjoy doing it. So it's also really good to see her focusing on something else and doing other things and not worrying about the pad being on. So that was really pleasing to see. So yeah, we had a nice session, and you could just tidying the fences away, and she just looks really chilled with it on, so really good. I took her out into the field afterwards just to give her a little walk off, but yeah, very exciting indeed. She was a good girl today and she's improving a lot. I wasn't going to bring them back in again, this is the 3rd night, but it just sort of happened. I love bringing them in. She's more settled each time. She gets more and more settled, more and more relaxed. I think she quite likes coming in and having a munch actually, so that's really good, isn't it, sweetheart? I know I've got garlic on my fingers. It's a bit of a smell. It's a bit of a smell. She's like, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. I think I know who'll be more funny about it. Arts. Artie. Arts is really itchy. I think because I took his fly rug off today and then he got wet and the midges have been really bad. Oh, lost an ear, mate. Oh, you're into garlic, are you? Oh, it's a good smell. Nice look. Would you like me to help you get your ear out, or are you gonna? Where's it gone? Oh, yeah, he's been really itchy. All right, where's that ear gone? Gosh, not gonna let me. Anyway, she's yawning away. That was quite a workout today for her actually, and even after we did the roller and then her free school and poor thing, I then just took her for a very quick little mooch around the field. Just to chill out, so she did quite a lot today again, so she'll probably have another day off tomorrow, but she seems more chilled. I need to get your ear out. So anyway, I'm gonna go, but that's the end of this week's vlog. Oh, don't you start, you don't copy him. Yeah, the end of this week's vlog. Again, I hope you enjoy it. It's not super exciting. I can't wait to go back to shows. You've Mr. Coop looking out at the end there. Don't you follow what he's doing? He's teaching you bad habits. Right, I'm going.